Hey guys, I have a new friend who's coming on this morning. A girl named Dana Max reached out to me a few weeks ago and she has a great thing she started called the Be Happy Project. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
I'm so
Oh,
grateful that you
thank you.
found me
Yeah.
and that we connected in the way we did. So thank you. Can you tell me a little bit just about the world of Dana Max and a little bit about your background?
Background is actually in the fashion industry. I worked as a designer for Marc Jacobs and Betsey Johnson. It was always my dream to be the next Diane von Furstenberg, a huge, amazing company. I had my own company for almost a decade, and it was successful. We were in every publication, on every celebrity. We sold to stores in the U.S. and internationally, but it got to a point where I could not compete with the big boys. Around 2013, I unfortunately had to close my business and I had to step away from it, and it felt like I lost the love of my life. And because this was my dream, and I thought you only had one dream, and so I went through this tremendous grieving process. When I closed my business, I literally felt like I lost myself and I had no idea who I was. And so I started the Be Happy Project about a year after that. And I really started for myself because I learned that my happiness was tied to the success of my business. And because I never found inner happiness, when I lost everything, I suddenly had no idea who I was. So the Be Happy Project is kind of symbolic of learning to be happy in this moment with what you have. And you should never tie happiness to a love, to a promotion, to a job, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever it is, because things can come and go, and that's life. And
Yeah.
we plan and we have a vision of how our lives are supposed to be. And it's like,
And then life happens.
yeah, can go
It
in a
happens.
completely different direction. I think my first post on the Be Happy Project got like 20 likes, and it grew organically from there. And we're at a 433,000, which is incredible.
It's amazing, and I think it's incredible that with what you do, you have the following that you do and the followers that you do. But I want to know, equally importantly, it's obviously coming from you. What does happiness mean to you?
To me, happiness means gratitude. It means contentment, and it means peace. I think finding joy in life's little moments, it piles up, and that creates happiness. So if you live in a frame of mind where you're grateful for everything that happens in your life, the good, the bad, the ugly, if you live in a place where you are not tied emotionally to things that happen to you, that people come into your life, and I know that's very hard to do, and I don't mean it in a cold way, but you can't get so tied to things that you are dependent on them. When you become dependent on a person, where that person creates your being, fulfills like a void in you, you really have to learn how to depend on yourself and find joy in little moments with those people, with those things that happen in life. But you can't be so attached and dependent where you lose yourself in them.
I have lupus, as most people know, and I was honored for my work in the lupus community. And in my speech, I was saying, everybody has dark moments. As a patient, you realize that, like, doctors, medication, treatments, friends, support is only going to get you so far. And I remember saying it's like you having that, you and you alone are what's gonna get you through. But you have such a huge point, and we also need to remind ourselves that anything we need is right inside.
Those things can bring you joy and they bring you moments of pleasure, but your happiness should not be tied to those things. You have to find happiness internally. And so today, I have all these wonderful things, but every day I live in contentment and gratitude. So whatever comes and goes, I still exist in this place of feeling very centered.
What suggestions do you have for somebody to get to contentment or to get to joy? But how did you really get there? And what suggestions do you have for others that maybe aren't there yet on how they can get there?
So I say a morning blessing every day it's the first thing I do when I get up. I'm just being grateful for today, this moment, the people that are in my life, the things that I have, my health, my family. And so that is the first thing I do because it shifts my mindset for the day. And I try to be grateful for that moment. And just being at peace with my life. I mean, I have my ups and downs and I have my struggles, and we all do. And I'm grateful for everything because everything leads you to the next place that you will be.
And you think it's fair to say that, like, well, I say that purpose found me. I didn't look for it. The universe might have brought me something, but I've obviously worked to get there. So how do you were talking about the first post. So go from there. How did you decide to like open an account on happiness and gratitude and positivity?
So I came from a world that was very superficial, and people's word did not mean much. So I wanted something in my life that felt like it had more purpose and meaning, and people's word, actual physical word, meant something. So the best thing I could do for myself to hold myself accountable was, create this page that consisted of quotes and all these, different words that, can make you have a different perspective on things. Again, the title, the Be Happy Project, is very simple. It's just to be happy. Be happy in this moment. Be happy with what you have. I just post once a day. We have a wonderful community. And, we do everything from giveaways to branded promotions to, I do a live every week with a unique guest. And so ways to help people to find inner happiness, which, can mean self-care. It could mean self-help, self-worth. There's a lot tied to the word happiness for me. The qualities that I had that made me successful in my former business, I'm able to utilize that in what I'm doing today. You don't only just have one dream in your life. You can dream a new dream. You're always existing, evolving, and changing.
In your growth, in your journey in this period, have the people around you changed?
It's a great question. Yes and no, because my core tribe have been the same since day one. They've grown with me, thankfully, and I've grown with them. But I am a people person. I love meeting new people and opening my heart to people. So it's been wonderful to meet people who are sincere and who appreciate growth and who want to better themselves. The more you evolve and grow as a person, I always say the better types of people you're going to attract in your life.
What top things you would recommend right now to boost one's emotional state during this time? But if you wouldn't mind sharing some tools that you could suggest or tools that you utilize when you're having a rough day to get happy.
I think trying to shift our mindset, because the heart follows the mind. So if you can shift your mind, your heart will be in a good place. Practicing gratitude every day is crucial. Listening is important too. If you can listen to others, you can listen to your inner voice. And sometimes our inner voice is a real asshole. So that's the voice that keeps us down. I distract myself for that moment. Calling a friend I know will make me laugh, or making like a playlist on Spotify, whatever it is, listening to positive music, whatever you can do in that moment to tell that inner voice to stop.
You don't know how strong you are until you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to be a phoenix that comes up from the difficult time.
And well, I do want to say I do have moments of that where I just like get scared and I don't want to deal with it. But I think you have to train yourself, no matter what your circumstances, to get out of that.
So we both share the fact that challenge sparked our passion, and we both have some autoimmune stuff. So will you tell me how was that affected all of this? Just health challenges. You were diagnosed at what, 7?
Yep, 7 years old with type 1 diabetes. Yep.
Yeah, so tell me about how that shaped or formed part of who you are and sort of probably made you more sensitive and strong at the same time.
The thing that always bugs me is that people generalize diabetes. Not enough is talked about type 1 diabetes. Type 2 is big, unfortunately, but type 1 is autoimmune and it's genetic. I got it when I was really little, and for most of my life until a few years ago, I was really, really insecure about it, and I allowed it to dictate my worth. And so the way I envisioned myself was I was this vase, and I was cracked. And I always hid my disease, and I never wanted to share anything about it. And it's an invisible disease. So most people don't know you have it until your personality gets all wonky. For me, if my blood sugars are low, I get really spacey and cloudy, and I can't really function. And if my blood sugars go high, I get really like overheated and also cloudy, but in a different way. And so type 1 diabetes is one of those things that constantly has control over me.
To be able to be okay and secure and know that we have something that makes us a little different, but also like that cracked vase, like some of the most beautiful things and ancient sculptures have those cracks, and you learn to love yourself with those cracks.
Now, when you're young, it's hard. I got bullied a lot when I was actually really young, probably between the ages of like 7 to 15 because of my diabetes. Generally speaking, I had a friend who used it against me to try and get a guy to break up with me. You know, she has a disease, so you don't want to be with her. I had a teacher who used it against me in high school. She made me sit there and take my tests when my blood sugars were very low, and she wouldn't let me go to the nurse. Those are just a handful of examples. So I went through a phase of being bullied for a disease which I was already insecure of. And so
it's completely out of your control.
It is, but you know, and that's part of it, is because it's out of your control, you feel like you're powerless. And I don't necessarily think it's about acceptance, because acceptance, I think, is extremely hard to do, because I don't like that I have type 1 diabetes. But I think acknowledging that I have something that's out of my control and learning how to ride the wave is a huge part of it. If you fight the ups and downs, it makes it worse. So it's like surfing. You have to learn how to ride it.
I think it's a really nice tool to be able to cultivate. It's really just so nice to connect and hear your point of view. Almost 500,000 followers that are there because you're giving incredible information. So kudos and job well done, sister.
I get asked this question often, and there is no secret sauce. I've never ever paid followers.
There is, by the way, there is secret sauce.
There is? You can tell me what it is. I don't know what it is.
Look in the mirror, because I'm looking at you, and you are the secret sauce.
Oh, I love it.
And don't ever forget that.
Thank you.
You can remind me to tell my brain to fuck off. I can remind you that you're the secret sauce.
Like the moment I start trying to compare to another account or whatever it is,
thank you,
I immediately stop myself, because comparison is the thief of joy and happiness and just resilience. And so I believe that there's space in this world for everybody. And so I think if you're true to yourself, you speak from the heart, be consistent, be patient. You have to create like a brand for yourself. Part of it is listening. You have to hear what people like, what people need, while still staying true to yourself and your heart. The more you can uplift others and allow people to rise up, the more you'll rise up. And so being service to others, it only does good for you internally. I mean, I've had people reach out to me and they're like, hey, can you post this? I don't get paid for it. I just do it because, you know, it's that community.
Yeah, you were so sweet. You're like, what do you want me to post for you? And I'm like, I'm not even used to taking that. Like, thank you so much.
But I also want to say it's okay too to say, because I used to have a mentality which was like, you know, oh, I don't do this to make money. You know what? Some of it I do to make money.
Oh no, I'm getting the hustle.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got to get it in your head. I am worth it. It's okay for me to monetize off of this platform, but at the same time, it's okay to give freely, to offer help, to offer guidance.
As we shift into this new world and life that we're headed into, can you leave us with some final words of wisdom as kind of going into this new reality?
So to me, like, saying the new norm is terrifying. So I just take it day by day and be in the present moment. Don't allow your mind to overwork itself, because your thoughts can become very overwhelming to the heart. And hold space within yourself for saying, you know, I acknowledge that things are up in the air right now, and that's okay. I'm at peace, and I am grateful for this moment, and I'm content. And wherever this world goes tomorrow, I am here with it. Learning how to ride the waves will teach you how to be content and teach you how to find joy, which creates happiness.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. All right, have a beautiful day.
Thank you so
Give
much.
your daughter and your hubby a kiss for me.
I will. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
cutie.
everyone. Thank you so much.